Witches vs. Patriarchy is a subreddit on Reddit filled with self-proclaimed witches. What? No way, they have witches on Reddit? I hear you say. Yes, my dear friends, you really can find anything on Reddit. Want to discuss your favorite video game? There's a subreddit for that. Want to discuss politics? There's a subreddit for that. Did you discuss politics on Reddit? There is a subreddit for that. Want to discuss your meth use? There's a subreddit for that. Need a community of people addicted to cigarettes? There's a subreddit for that. In fact, that one's my personal favorite subreddit. Which brings us to Witches vs. Patriarchy, a subreddit for witches and also feminists, thus the versus patriarchy part of the name, which is a big part of the subreddit. A lot of it is just very progressive political posts, which is kind of boring. That sort of thing is really a dime a dozen on Reddit, and I just don't care. You know, I'm no political commentator.
Let's say you've been a bad girl. Let's say, hypothetically, you've been a naughty girl even.
What I'm here for is the magic, you know. After my last video, I'm done with that fake Disney magic. I'm here for the real magic.
Check this out. One card is different from all the others, right? If you did this right, I mean, I don't know what your potential of move here. Look at that card, see what it is.
You violated the law.
Most of these witches are women, although apparently men can be witches too, which I was of course thrilled about, being an aspiring witch myself.
Got Muppets on Facebook thinking you're bad, mate. I've had it last money a bird from home and won by.
Well, someone looks like he listens to My Chemical Romance. Not that I can blame him, you know, good band.
My spouse and I have been married today for 7 years. We have since both come out as non-binary femmes, and I am grateful every day for being able to share life with them, because it's just more fun if we get to experience it together.
Wow. Just when I thought that men can be witches, he had to go and ruin it. I guess not. Maybe men can't be witches.
Oh, no.
So this is their wedding photos, and then I suppose this is them now. Hold on, just a second. Tell me I'm wrong. You know I'm not. You know I'm not. That's Dream. That's Dream right there. I guess getting bullied on Twitter really took a toll on the man. This is the cyberbullying before and after right here. This is what happens if you cyberbully people, guys. Don't cyberbully. The impression I get from the people on this subreddit is sort of the inverse of the weird uncle who believes in chemtrails, which would be the weird aunt who's really into crystals and communism. The type of people who would unironically say this.
Borders are imaginary. We all agree to pretend they exist. Same with race. Another social construct everyone pretends is science. Same with money. It's imaginary. All these things are religions in effect.
This is one of the most dim-witted things I have ever read. It's as dumb as those quote-unquote deep Instagram posts, except more pretentious. Like, what do you mean race is a social construct? Tell me, why do these two men look different? Option A, they're different races. Option B, because of society. Listen, I get you're trying to fight racism, right? But lying to people about easily observable facts is a remarkably idiotic way to go about it. Obviously, your culture isn't something inherent that you're born with. If I was born and raised in France, I would speak a different language, a worse one. I would have different traditions, but that's separate from my race.
Wait, what the fuck?
So I would still be Caucasian. Also, money is imaginary. Really? You came up with that all by yourself, did you, Alyssa? I've never heard that one before. Listen, I get that finances and economics are complicated, but the idea that, yes, colored paper doesn't have inherent value, yet we assign value to it in order to trade, is not a difficult thing to understand. You don't need a degree in economics to grasp that very basic concept. And believing these things is apparently like religion? This is so dumb. Although, it becomes a lot funnier when you think about it as a white guy who got caught saying the N-word. No, dude, listen. Race is just a social construct, so really, anyone can say it. Great segue, speaking of religion. If you visited the subreddit, you'd get the impression that these women hate religion, but that's not the case. They love religion, just not Christianity or Islam, hell, not even Buddhism. See, the problem with all these real religions are that they have all these stupid rules and scripture and theology, which is so lame. That's not nearly quirky or unique enough. So you might say, sure, just be an atheist then, but see, that's not good enough either, because they still want to believe in something, to be able to pray to something, so why not just have the best of both worlds? Just have some vaguely pagan, naturalistic, spiritual belief. Now that's a great idea. Once you get past the fact that having to connect with nature is quite difficult for Redditors. Of course, keep in mind you can't practice actual real paganism like it was practiced hundreds of years ago. No, trying to reconstruct pre-Christian European religion is quite complicated. A lot of it was largely oral tradition, with stories only being written down post-Christianization, so you have to figure out what is a later addition to the story and what is original, not to mention the difficulty of trying to understand the cultural context of stories written 1,000 years ago. I mean, historians dedicate their lives to trying to understand it, and all of that is just too complicated. Besides, you wouldn't want a real religion when you can just have a fake religion and do whatever you want as long as it falls under the one rule of be vaguely good. Who made that rule, you might ask? Well, you know, like the moon or nature, I think. Thing is, being a modern day witch is just an aesthetic, because they want the assurance and community that comes with religion, but on their own terms. And to be fair, most religions absolutely have this too. We all know the stereotype of white people going to Thailand and having a spiritual awakening and suddenly being into Buddhism because they did mushrooms once, or the girl with a Bible verse in her bio because she thinks it makes her quirky, or red pill guys converting to Islam after Andy Tater Tots did. Although I have to give credit to atheists here, they really don't have this problem, probably because I don't think anyone wants the aesthetic of an atheist. Now, I'm sure you're asking, if they're supposedly witches, what exactly do they do that makes them witches? Well, that's simple. They cast spells. Quirky things like, did you use coffee in your witchcraft? It provides motivation and can boost the power of spells. It can even be used as an offering. And you should drink 3 cups before 8 a.m. just to feel like a normal person. I might have added that last part myself. Or how about this one?
What is your spell success story? I did a spell called Ring of Truth in 1999, after catching wind of a rumor that one of the local political parties was trying to fix an upcoming election. The day before the election, a story broke in the papers and the fixer party subsequently lost. The spell then, went viral and is still causing delightful truthy chaos to this day, laughing face. Honorable mention to a weather spell I cast in February 1979 to clear the skies for a total solar eclipse. It worked, too. The skies began to clear at 9 p.m. the night before the eclipse, and at totality the entire sky was cloudless.
Dude, what? I like how the other responses in this thread are like a joke about summoning your cat and a woman getting a guy to have sex with her, which you don't really need a spell for. That's actually pretty easy. And this one's just like, I exposed a rigged election and literally changed the weather. Just another day being a quirky witch. Don't mess with these witches, I guess. But you know who else shouldn't mess with these witches? That's right, you guessed it, the Israeli government.
I can't do much to help the Palestinians, so I just started casting this protection spell.
That's right, fellas. The Reddit witches are hard at work saving people in Middle Eastern war zones. We did it, Reddit, because that's what heroes do. I'm so proud of this community. Now this is epic. Keanu Chungus Wholesome 100. The witches do like their protection spells. I swear half the posts on the subreddit is just people asking how to do protection spells. I mean, who wouldn't want to be protected? They also have other spells, like a leave me alone spell, some mystery spell. Oh wait, never mind, it's a protection spell. They also have a banishing addiction spell, and all jokes aside, it's super cool that she was able to overcome her addiction. If only my dad used that spell. Maybe he wouldn't hurt mom anymore. Anyway, self-expression is another important part of being a witch that comes in many different forms, largely through artistic expression. They like drawing, cooking, doing various crafts, even the way they dress. I have to give them full credit here. This is something they genuinely seem to be great at. Except maybe for that last part.
But what the hell, boy?
But you know, they're very artistic people. Not that I would imagine anyone is super surprised that they're the artsy types, but they are, and they're good at it. I mean, look at this. I wouldn't mind having a 2-tree armband made out of labradorite. Whatever that is, I don't know much about rocks. This is a great painting, although he definitely doesn't look like the typical witch, but who am I to say what the typical witch looks like? Although my guy definitely needs to learn a fundamental part of posting art on Reddit. You will get way more attention if an attractive woman holds the painting. Okay, so what you want to do is really simple. Just find a picture of a good-looking woman holding a painting. Just screenshot that bad boy like so, then pop open the old Photoshop and just replace her painting with yours, and voila, you get all the updates. It's really simple. There are birds like right outside my window, just screaming. See, there they go again. Ridiculous. Ultimately, I don't think the witches of Reddit are bad people. People on the internet have a bad habit of assuming the worst in people they might disagree with.
Then you are Wojak, the mostest soy Wojak possibly in the world.
Listen, you are the soy Wojak. I am the Chad Wojak.
No, you are the soy Jojak, and I am the Chad Gamer Wojak.
Assuming they're evil or malicious just because they belong to a different group or hold a different opinion. Something which the members of Witches vs. Patriarchy are definitely guilty of themselves. I try to avoid that mentality. Unfortunately, I don't always succeed, of course, I'm human. But I try to remember to do unto others as I would have them do unto me. It's a good motto for life. I see them as a group of people who are just looking for a place to belong, to find a community in a world where finding that in real life is becoming increasingly rare. That community just happens to be a group of politically charged fake witches. I'm still not quite sure if that is better or worse than furries. Alright, end of the video. Well, thank you for watching, if you made it this far, to the 2 people who did. And remember to like and subscribe, or else we will never have world peace.